challenges, stuff like that, you've got like, okay, what's my next shift? Am I going through there? Do I need to, I mean, it's worked into how are you organizing your next week?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're always thinking about it. So if you can, you can be happier.
I was sorry, Fred. I'm going to apologize in advance. I was dog tired last night. I'm not kidding you. I mean, I started work at 5 a.m. and at 11:15, I said, I can't stand it anymore. And I thought I was going to collapse into a complete coma. And the second my head hit the pillow and I heard Carl start to very lightly snore, all I could think about was what I had to do this morning. And I ended up with like 4 hours of sleep, and it's like, oh, it sucks. I'm good now. I had a double shot espresso. I'm a happy girl. But who knows how long this is going to last? And am I talking fast? Do you think I'm talking fast today? I don't know.
But I know what you mean, because you're just like, you sleep and, we're like, you can see, what else can science tell us? I see sex helps you.
Sleep is good.
Sleep is good. A reasonable diet is good.
Exercise
is good. The not spending 4 hours commuting is good.
Pets are therapeutic. Yeah. Huh. Gee, Colleen, you and I should publish a paper, right? We could get FDA approval for this shit. What do you think?
Well, like I said, there are things that but you do. If you're going to be blathering about them, you got to back them up. Yeah. I want to cite some sources, and now you've got some sources.
I got some sources. Okay, this next one. Okay, why this cracks me up? I swear to God, right now, all of Europe is obsessed with sex, and I think it's because birth rates have gone down so much that they're all just like everybody. We've talked about Spain, we've talked about Denmark, we've talked about Sweden. And now here comes the UK.
I love it. Yeah, I missed that conversation. You hit that last week about sex, a break for once a week to go home and have sex.
Yeah, you got to listen to last week's show with the two boys.
I got bits and pieces of it, but
they were absolutely hysterical, and trying to keep control of the room was
I'm sure it was
not easy. Just saying. They were a riot. I love it when those two come in together. So this was the latest National Survey of Sex and Behavior, spelled IOUR because it's from the UK, right? And stick to it. I just think it's funny that the government decides to get into orgasms. Like, of all the other things that they can fuck up, no pun intended, that just does not seem like something that is their forte. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't want the government involved in any orgasms whatsoever.
Or anywhere close to my hoo-ha, for that matter. No. But
there were a lot of signs that said that a couple of Saturdays ago.
Yes, there have been many, actually. Yes, nationwide. So they did have a survey component to the study, and this shouldn't come as a surprise. 91% of men orgasm on a regular basis during sex, compared with, guess what do you think the female percentage is?
No, 48.
64.
Oh, 64.
I thought it would have been lower myself. I was happy to see that 64.
So folks should forget. Usually the numbers on that are so pathetically low that I'm just like, okay. So it's nice to know that folks are learning and moving up. 60, yeah.
Yeah. So, but the British government does have 3 guaranteed ways to make you orgasm every single time. Shall we check it out?
Okay.
We'll end the show with this. Bah, ha, ha. Okay. Number 1, keep it simple. What does that mean? Well, they're saying that basically, and they discussed this with almost 10,000 women. 36%, the highest percentage, said vaginal sex, that they orgasmed there. Oral sex came in 26, so that was second, and 24% cited mutual masturbation. Only 14% said anal sex. So they said keep it simple, ask which one they like, and do that.
Let's see. Communicate.
Yeah. I think we've heard this one before.
Yeah.
Number 2, let her take charge. And they just said, girl on top. That was the winning position. And then, so let her dictate. And if she says missionary or one of the other ones that might be your choice, great, but give her always the first choice, best chance of having an orgasm. And number 3, drum roll.
Okay.
Don't forego the foreplay. Thank you. Okay. 36% said foreplay was the most important factor. I can't believe that only 36% said that. Colleen?
I'm maybe the other percentage just made the assumption that it was there.
Yeah.
I mean, even if it's a quickie, there's a little something beforehand.
Yeah. This is kind of funny as a little side note in conclusion on this. They did a survey of almost 5,000 people, and they asked, men and women, what makes someone good in bed? And they gave multiple choices with answers, including things like stamina, penis size, but foreplay won that one. And 13% said a big penis, by the way. And making sure we both orgasm got a third of the votes, just under foreplay. So,
where was making sure that nobody smells?
It wasn't in here.
Oh,
I did not see that,
See,
Colleen.
Yeah, just checking.
So yeah, but this was came out of the British government. So they're looking. But what I want to know, have you ever watched Parliament?
I bits and pieces
It's
of it.
Hilarious.
Yes.
I love it. Mm-hmm. It's like I wish ours would do that. I mean,
yeah, C-SPAN occasionally, I think coming up and recently there's been a little bit more entertaining on C-SPAN, especially when they, cut the cameras and then had to live Facebook feed it. You're getting a little bit of that. But in general, you've got, centuries now of parliamentary, I don't even know the word for it because it's hilarious.
It's hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but on one hand, it's like I'm picturing the, British mentality processing this information, but then they go into Parliament and it's a slugfest. And that's just the way it is. That's accepted. Everybody goes back and forth and there's guffawing and there's yelling. And is something wrong?
Oh, I'm like,
okay. We've got the studio dog, Fred. He's still here.
Yeah. I was like, I hadn't heard him for a while. Like, where did the doggy go?
So I'll be curious to see what the next round of studies that we find for the following week. But I'm glad to have you back. We're into March, St. Pat's Day, a week away.
Yeah, that's always we tend to do okay on St. Patty's Day.
So is it fuck of the Irish week? Is that the deal?
I think so. Actually, I think folks are also getting their tax returns back and are coming back and getting all the stuff they didn't get for Valentine's Day. So it's been folks have been very busy keeping the stores restocked and everything.
Michael told me that you guys blew through almost all of the gift with purchases.
Yes, there's a few left. We're going to be actually shelling those because there's one there's a powder in there that before Pride happens or anything like that is going to be outdated, but it's fine now. So all the little mini whips and all the little massage oils and stuff like that, we're going to be using for our prize wheel because we're going to be involved in the City Pages Beer Dabbler. Ooh. And Pride's coming up in June. Oh, all signed up for that. I'm very excited.
Okay, that's a fun event.
And let's see, then I think the Cocktailing again in December. You get some of the stuff you got to do all in. I'd much rather do that. We used to do a couple of other events, but I don't mind drunk. I rather not be around stupid. So I'm trying to, you got to go. You have to go different events.
That's really hard to separate. Good luck with that. Yeah.
It depends on how much security the event people have hired.
So funny. Our one of our guys that works for our condo association, he was in the lobby on St. Patrick's Day evening, just sitting there he kind of made himself a little station. I go, what are you doing? Douchebag patrol. And I'm like, thank you for your service.
Oh, just because for folks wandering in the lobby?
Oh, that and residents. Look, we've had situations with our own, homeowners there. Trust me that it's like, really? Somebody stole two of our lobby chairs recently, and they're expensive leather chairs. And and guess what? They happened the night the cameras were down. It's like, you've got to be kidding me. It's like adult daycare being in a condo board.
Well, I did like the old, I used to have beautiful pots of flowers outside the stores.
Yeah.
Until some bitch in a BMW pulled up. No, was it a Lexus or a BMW? Lexus. It was Lexus, yeah. Pulled up in a Lexus, popped the trunk, and it was just far enough out of I could see her do it, but I couldn't quite read.
She stole him?
She picked him up and put him in her, put him in the trunk of her car. Stole my big, beautiful flower pots.
See, if you could have, that would have been something that you send the cops after, because that's just disgusting.
We tried forever, just out of range. I could see the car, but it's just far enough away from the camera that I could not read the license plate.
Bummer.
And you just couldn't, you're looking at her, like, I can see that it's more than likely someone of European descent. I can, but I couldn't, and I could see that it's female, and I could see that it was a Lexus. But other than that,
So an expensive car stealing shit. Stealing sucks.
yeah. And these were beautiful blue glazed terracotta pots that I picked up from Sunnyside and had in front of the store and all that sort of stuff. Yeah, I had 2 white ones and 2 blue ones, and she stole the blue ones.
Okay. Well, I need a note to close this out because now I'm just pissed.
I know. I'm just like, oh, honestly, it saves me money because now I don't put the pots out. My sister, I took the pots home. My sister took the pots home. We all did. It's lovely at our houses and stuff like that. And it saves time and aggravation.
Okay.
I mean, I try and do nice things. And then, so I'm like, screw her.
The assholes ruin it for everybody. All right. Well, we'll be back next week. And Colleen, so good to see you. Fit as a fiddle again.
Ooh,
and
steroids.
Check out the Great Northern Sex Cast page. I'm just glad you're not an Olympic athlete. Contextually speaking, that's an okay statement. But otherwise, I'm frightened. We will be back next week.
See you next week.